Hi, I'm Simon.
And I'm Stuart.
This past week, we have been really busy moving aboard the boat.
We've been cleaning, putting stuff away, and preparing this boat to go sailing.
We also need to make the boat habitable so we can actually live on it.
Get some of those first major projects done.
The first day on the boat, the goal was simple. We needed to be able to cook something in the galley. So let's get to cleaning. With the day coming to a close and a clean galley, it is time to eat our first dinner on the boat.
Illinois. Nice and meaty, beans and weenies.
It's our first dinner on the boat.
Yep, we made beans and weenies. Beans and weenies! It's nothing too crazy, but it is one of the first meals we ever had on Passage.
It's a very special meal for us.
Yep.
It's also really easy. How'd you make this?
It is a can of beans and hot dogs sliced up, and then a big squirt of barbecue sauce.
Delicious.
A night's rest on the boat, and we were back at the cleaning the next day. The goal? Get all the storage spaces in the salon cleaned. And then we can get as much of our stuff put away.
Now that we've got the boat cleaned up and more livable, we can get started on some of our first few projects. We have a few projects we gotta start immediately. The first one is cleaning the water tanks.
After buying the boat, we left a water shock treatment in our tanks while we went and took care of some administrative work in Florida. Now that we are back on the boat, we need to flush the tanks. In the process of flushing the tanks, we discover one of the sinks is not draining. Simon goes investigating and finds the seacock was closed.
Now that the water tank's cleaned, it's time for us to measure for a couple of big ticket items.
So the first thing we're going to be working on is replacing the forward head. And for that we need to measure the hose we need for it, so that we can then get parts ordered.
About 1.5 inches. Sounds about right.
Next up, we need to measure the diameter of the current halyards, so that we can order some new rope and replace them all.
We got that done quickly, and now it's time to get on to the next project. Now that we're on to our final project, it's time to open up the diesel tanks.
You see, back a few years ago, we were on a rather eventful passage from Fort Lauderdale to Cape Canaveral with our parents. And on that eventful passage, let's just say there was diesel bug and a rather eventful tow from hell.
Got towed 40 miles into Cape Canaveral in 16-foot seas.
Yep.
So, let's go take a look at our diesel tanks.
Yeah! Alright, we're here in the stern cabin. And right here we have access to one of our 2 fuel tanks. The other being in front of the engine. What we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be opening this thing up here that's underneath the shaft. That is all the access we have to the aft diesel tank. And we're going to open it up. We're going to poke around and see what it looks like. Let's get to this.
Let's start over here. This is going to be easier. Can the camera see?
Mostly.
This was a slow process of removing each and every bolt. Switching to a socket began to speed things up.
Okay, we got all the bolts out. Now, I guess I try to lift it. Let's see how this goes.
Okay. Let's see if I can just lift this up. The answer is...
Ooh, what are we gonna do with that?
We opened up the tank. We got footage of what was inside there. Now it's time to close it up for now and spend some time overanalyzing the diesel tank.
So, first, let's get this gasket properly done. This is going to be the hard part.
And it was hard to put this all back together. So let's go ahead and skip to being done.
Okay.
Okay. Got it closed up. We can call this done for now. So we looked over the footage many times.
We went and shared this footage with our friends and some of our family, who all gave us very good advice.
The conclusion is simple. We have to clean our diesel tanks. Yep.
The past couple weeks have also been so busy and chaotic. We've been back and forth from North Carolina to Florida and back a couple times, getting all our paperwork done for the boat, because there's so much to do with the purchase.
And now we're finally moving aboard.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all of your help.
Now that we're getting settled in, it feels like we're getting into a new routine.
We've also started getting some of the boat parts we ordered.
Well, as long as we get the rest of the parts, we will have some fun projects soon.
Well, it'll be an adventure. See you next time.